Tonight, Florida is reeling from the impact of Hurricane Ian, the effects both historic and catastrophic.
So this is a live look at the storm's radar right now. Ian hit as a Category 4 storm yesterday, and throughout the night into early this morning, it was downgraded to a tropical storm. But in just the last hour, it strengthened back into a Category 1 hurricane. That storm expected to move up the Atlantic coast, hit South Carolina tomorrow morning. Georgia is under a state of emergency, the entire South Carolina coast under a hurricane watch tonight. Officials say at least 17 people are dead, and that number expected to rise.
This could be the deadliest hurricane in Florida's history.
It just is destroyed and it's ruined, and then you have to start all over again. And honestly, where do you start? How do you start in this?
Now, these are just some of the images that we're seeing across the state of Florida tonight. Incredible catastrophic destruction, as much as $40 billion of it estimated. So let's break down some of these videos. This is a bird's eye view of what's left in Lee County, Florida, where Fort Myers and Cape Coral are located. Storm surges, high winds have destroyed people's homes. Some of them are on fire. This is what's left of the beachfront properties. You can see many areas leveled with debris everywhere. Now, this incredible video captures the roof, look at that, of someone's house in Naples being pulled off and blown away. Hurricane Ian had sustained winds at one point of up to 150 miles per hour yesterday. Fort Myers Beach has also been leveled. This is Times Square in downtown area of that beach. For reference, that picture is what the area used to look like. Times Square was set to go under renovations this year. They now have to completely rebuild. And you're also looking at what's left of Sanibel Causeway, the only way onto or off of Sanibel and Captiva Islands by vehicle. It's been destroyed. Some parts collapsed into the ocean and washed away. More than 6,000 people live on those islands. If they didn't evacuate, they're now trapped there as floodwaters have yet to recede and most people don't have power.
And a live look now at a power outage map of Florida as of 5:53 p.m. So just minutes ago, more than 2.5 million people are without power. You can see some parts of the state, nearly 100% of each county is in the dark. And just to give you an idea of how many people are without power, take a look at this nighttime satellite imagery from NOAA. This is a comparison from Monday to today. You can see just the huge amount of visible light that has now disappeared. And FEMA and the U.S. Coast Guard are now working by land, air, and sea to help get to those people who need it. President Biden has approved major disaster declaration for Florida tonight.
That means the federal government will cover 100% of the cost to clear debris and for all the costs that the state has to engage in and expend to save lives.
Now, the declaration also makes federal aid available to help people and business owners in 9 counties to recover. We're told the president is planning to visit Florida to survey the damage as soon as conditions improve.
Search and rescue operations well underway. Crews have been working around the clock. Dozens of rescues were made overnight. They're using helicopters to get people off of roofs and airboats to bring stranded residents to safety, even pulling people out of that water.
And 47 members of Ohio Task Force 1 are on the ground in Florida tonight, and more team members are now on their way. Mamie Baugh spoke with them before they left the Vandalia warehouse. She is live outside on our Watson's Weather patio now. And Mamie, how many more members are going to be joining these rescue efforts?
An additional 36 members, and you remember 47 members deployed before Ian slammed Florida, leaving parts of it unrecognizable. So by tomorrow morning, we can expect 83 Ohio Task Force personnel to be helping Floridians pick up the pieces after Hurricane Ian.
Because of the intensity of this hurricane, I suspect that we will be involved in some pretty serious operations over the next 3, 4, 5 days down there. I'm really hoping that we don't turn into like our deployment last year to Florida.
Mamie, any updates from that team that's already on the ground in Florida?
Well, the program manager tells me he believes they are using boats to rescue people from the floodwaters. Now, I'm told because communication is unreliable at this time, they really don't know exactly where in Florida the team is at this time, and that while they're working together, they're communicating with each other through walkie-talkies. Now, coming up at 6:30, why the deployment of the extra team that left earlier today almost didn't happen. Back to you.
Mamie, thank you. In addition to Ohio Task Force 1, many other groups in the Miami Valley and across Ohio stepping up to help Floridians. Clara Faith tells us why local volunteers are doing this weekend.
Adam, American Red Cross Central and Southern Ohio region said about 10 Dayton residents have volunteered to bring emergency response vehicles to the Florida region. These ERVs will be used for various purposes, like issuing meals, water, and personal hygiene items. According to Red Cross Dayton Chapter, an ERV is scheduled to depart tomorrow at 2 p.m. for Florida, while 2 more Dayton volunteers will depart from Cincinnati this weekend. Red Cross representatives say that volunteers like them are committed to ensuring that every American is safe during difficult times.
Our Dayton volunteers always step up to the plate whenever there is a disaster in any part of the country. They are there to help the people in Dayton, to help our own community, but they will also raise their hands and be generous of their time of giving to others who live in other parts of the state, or other parts of the country, rather.
Officials say they are unsure of which Florida city the ERVs will arrive in. But coming up tonight on ABC 22 and Fox 45, you'll hear how other local organizations are helping during this devastating event. Reporting in Dayton, Clara Faith, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Clara, thanks.
Well, as the southern United States recovers and braces for more destruction, President Biden has a message for Puerto Ricans. They're still picking up the pieces after Hurricane Fiona devastated their island over a week ago.
To the people of Puerto Rico, we're not gone away. I am committed to you and the recovery of the island. We'll stand by you for however long it takes to get it done.
The president plans to visit the island to survey the damage as soon as conditions improve. Leaders in Puerto Rico claim federal aid is coming at a slow pace, despite the island getting up to 32 inches of rain. Fiona knocked out the island's power. 20% of customers still don't have the lights back on yet. Hospitals are running out of diesel for their generators. Residents struggling from water outages.
Well, a beautiful evening for some football. I'm at Preble, Shawnee. They're about to take on Tri-County North for Thursday night lights. And we got the sunshine. That's one thing that we're going to be dealing with. But as the sun sets, temperatures are going to continue to fall. This is a look at what's going on temperature-wise. We're in the lower 60s. So jacket-wearing weather. When the cloud moves in, it starts to feel a little chillier. 63 in Dayton, we have 61 in Springfield, 58 in Urbana. Compared to this time yesterday, it is warmer. It feels just a whole lot better today compared to yesterday. We're 7 degrees warmer in Greenville, 5 degrees warmer in Springfield. And heading through the rest of this evening, temperatures will fall. We're talking about lower 40s by early tomorrow morning. So it's going to be another chilly night. But coming up, I'm going to talk about the rest of the week's forecast. We have a little bit of a warm up, and I'm going to talk about what impacts of Ian that we could see right here in the Miami Valley too.
Natalie, thanks. Queen Elizabeth II's cause of death has been revealed. She died of old age. The National Records of Scotland shared her death certificate today. It shows she died at 3:10 p.m. on September 8th at Balmoral Castle in Scotland. The monarch was 96 years old.
We have a look at the U.S. Capitol here in a moment, where lawmakers are one step closer to avoiding a government shutdown. The Senate gave its thumbs up to a short-term funding bill this afternoon. It now heads to the House. President Biden has to sign it by Friday. Otherwise, the government's going to run out of money. Now, that bill finances the government through December 16th, buying Congress some time to set 2023 spending levels. It includes $12 billion in aid to Ukraine's military and disaster assistance. $20 billion were added to help FEMA respond to Hurricane Ian in Florida. Well, in response to Russia's plan to incorporate 4 occupied regions, the U.S. now sending more military equipment to Ukraine. Megan's at the Now Desk, so what exactly is all going to be sent there?
Yeah, Adam, as far as weapons, the Pentagon says 18 additional advanced rocket systems. They're reportedly part of the new $1.1 billion military aid package for the country. Meanwhile, Congress is looking to punish countries that recognize the annexations. U.S. officials are calling the referenda shams. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham and Democratic colleague Richard Blumenthal are spearheading a bill. According to the United Nations, the land grab is a dangerous escalation that could disrupt peace in the region.
The first industrial facility to be built in Trotwood in nearly 2 decades has broken ground.
3, 2, 1.
The Gated Properties Industrial Park is one of the largest investments in the city of Trotwood in a long time. The hope is the 600,000 square foot park will make it an attractive destination for manufacturers and jobs. It's also located close to 2 airports and major freeways. Gated Properties Global says it chose Trotwood because of how well they worked together after the 2019 Memorial Day tornadoes when renovating one of their buildings that was destroyed.
we developed a strong relationship with the Trotwood community through that time and just realized that they're an extreme pleasure to work with, and we want to just be doing more development in the area. Essentially, it would be an Amazon-like, a Kroger-like, somebody who would need any sort of last mile distribution centers in the area.
The initial 200,000 square foot structure is obviously very early stages right now, but by early next week, you'll be able to see a more complete building. They're working very fast.
Well, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and Dayton 24/7 Now is going pink for the Women's Wellness Fund. Join us Wednesday, October 5th for an all-day telethon to raise awareness for breast cancer treatment and cures. You can donate now by texting PINK to 345-345 or by scanning the QR code there on your screen.
I'm Matt Digby. Coming up in a few minutes, hear from the two head coaches involved in Thursday Night Lights as Preble Shawnee hosts Tri-County North in a WOAC matchup.
And the biggest murder trial in Ohio history taking a pause. Up next, the reason for today's break and what'll happen next. You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
A focus on some peaceful moments as Ian continues its push towards South Carolina. This time-lapse video shows a changing sunset light show through the clouds along Broadway at the beach in Myrtle Beach. And here's a very well-formed halo through some thin, high cirrus clouds. This image was captured while the center of Ian was more than 500 miles away.
For more content like this, like the National Weather Desk on Facebook.
We are already into the second half of Thursday Night Lights schedule, and tonight we return to the Western Ohio Athletic Conference. Matt Digby joins us live from Preble Shawnee, where the Arrows are getting ready to host Tri-County North. And Matt, as has been the case more often than not this season, both teams entering the game with opposite perspectives.
Yeah, Adam, it's hard to believe we are already into the business end of the regular season, but Tri-County North and Preble Shawnee both hoping for a win tonight, albeit for different reasons between the two. For Tri-County North, it hasn't been the best of season so far, but there is still time to turn the season around. They only have one win on the year, but they're right outside the top 16 of the Region 28 rankings, and important to note, they have also not been shut out in a game so far this season. As for Preble Shawnee, they have won 2 straight and are up to 9th in the latest Region 20 computer rankings, very much in control of their destiny for a playoff spot. Now they want to try to get into that top 8 and get at least one home game, if not two. Speaking this week, the two head coaches, Trace Smitherman and Dave Maddox, talking about how their teams have grown from the beginning of the season to now.
You know, they continue to bounce back. They've been strong that way. They're staying physical in the weight room, getting after it, and their attention is getting better and better. So attention to details really helped us.
Adversity is not always a bad thing. Sometimes you got to take that and learn from it and just continue to grow and get better, and I feel like we've done that. I really want them to enjoy this experience, but at the same time they need to stay focused on what their job is.
So we're just under an hour away from Thursday Night Lights between the Arrows and the Panthers. And as we've been mentioning the last several weeks, most of the games on Thursday Night Lights this season have been won by the home team. However, 2 weeks ago, we had another WOAC matchup, National Trail winning on the road at Dixie. That was a road team win. So Tri-County North will hope that WOAC teams go 2-0 on the road on Thursday Night Lights, or can Preble Shoddy make it a happy homecoming. Doug Brown and I will see you at the top of the hour on My TV Dayton, also on our Facebook page, Dayton 24/7 Now, and on Dayton247now.com. In the meantime, live in Camden, I'm Matt Digby, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Matt, thanks. And as he mentioned, we'll be live streaming that game on our Facebook page. You can follow us at Dayton 24/7 Now to watch it from anywhere.
Today's testimony in the trial of George Wagner IV in the Pike County massacre case had to be canceled because a juror was sick. James Pilcher tells us what happens next.
Today was supposed to be day 14 of the murder trial of George Wagner IV here in the Pike County massacre case, but a juror fell ill. Court personnel declined comment on the cause of the illness. They also declined comment when I asked them if they had a plan in place in case anyone involved with the case, including jurors, fell ill with COVID, or what the testing protocol was. The trial is expected to resume here early Friday morning. Now, when they concluded on Wednesday, the lead agent for the Bureau of Criminal Investigation, who oversaw the case, finished the first part of his testimony, but prosecutors have not yet said who's going to take the stand tomorrow. In Waverly, I'm James Pilcher. Back to you guys.
Well, we seem to have lost Natalie's audio there, so we'll move on. We'll get back to her in just a bit. In the meantime, JetBlue facing another challenge in court. Megan is at the now desk, so what's going on?
Yeah, an antitrust trial is now underway over the discount carrier's partnership with American Airlines. That trial comes as the Justice Department is suing the airlines in an effort to break up the partnership. The DOJ argues it makes customer prices higher and cuts competition, but JetBlue CEO says it actually helps customers by better accommodating passengers whose flights get canceled. Now, Southwest CEO also testified in court today. Executives from United, Delta, and American Airlines are also set to testify.
3 parents of survivors of the Uvalde, Texas elementary school mass shooting are now suing a gun maker, the school district, the city, and others. You may remember a gunman killed 19 students, 2 teachers back on May 24th at Robb Elementary School. Law enforcement stood outside waiting for more than an hour before attempting to engage the shooter. The lawsuit alleges negligence and recklessness. Lawyers for the family say the manufacturer of the gunman's firearm uses marketing tactics that recklessly endangered kids. They also say the school district, then police chief, and the school's principal failed to act and created a dangerous environment. And the Uvalde Police Department failed to protect victims by not allowing state-mandated active shooter training. The families want a jury trial and punitive damages.
A story now from our partners at the Dayton Business Journal. Huber Heights City Schools has started an $8.6 million expansion and renovation of Wayne High School. It's to support students who are interested in trade careers such as welding, HVAC, and construction. A nearly 12,000 square foot career tech center designed to prepare students for those trades is going to be added to the school's performing arts theater. That project will be ready for the 2023 school year. And we have all the details for you right now on Dayton247now.com. You can find this story as well as others like it under the Dayton Business Journal heading in the News tab.
All right, we're going to go back to weather now. Live look from our Kettering House sky cam. Warmed up a little bit today, still very fall-like. Let's go out to Natalie, who is at Thursday Night Lights game tonight. So, Natalie, what's it look like where you are?
Hi, got the band coming through here. We are ready for football this evening as Preble Shawnee is taking on Tri-County North. Beautiful evening for some football. We got some cloud cover out here, but overall mostly sunny sky across the Miami Valley, and it is looking pretty good. This is a look at what's going on, though, as far as what we're expecting. Another nice night. It is going to be a little bit chilly out there, so moving through time, we'll see temperatures drop into the lower 40s, even some upper 30s possible as you wake up tomorrow morning, so certainly feeling a chill as you wake up. But Friday's a nice day, so football Friday night also looking good. We're going to see temperatures in the mid-upper 60s. I'm thinking even 70 degrees by our Friday afternoon, so just a really nice day. But heading into our Saturday, we actually will see some impacts of Ian right here in the Miami Valley. Cloud cover does start to build its way in, so becoming mostly cloudy as we start off the day on Saturday, and then into our Saturday afternoon. We'll even see a couple of showers become possible, especially for our southeastern counties, and then temperatures, they're going to be in the 60s, close to 70 degrees, and also pretty breezy. The winds are really going to start to pick up as we head into the weekend. We're talking 15 to 20 mile per hour winds with some gusts up to about 30, 35 miles per hour due to the impacts of Ian. But this is what we're talking about next several days. So if you're kind of tired of the cold, it's been a little bit too cool for you. Good news is we have 60s and 70s back in the forecast by the weekend and starting off next week. So we're going to have a look at that 7-day, talk about our next best chance for rain coming up in just a bit.
All right, thanks so much, Natalie. If you're looking for a new dining experience, we've got you covered. Still ahead, an inside look at what you can order at a special Boathouse restaurant. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
the Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
A restaurant perched on the Great Miami River is now offering fresh caught fare. Tej Joshi, host of Good Day Dayton, gives us an inside look at the kitchen menu.
We are in downtown Troy, just off the Great Miami River. This is a beautiful and serene area. And if you look just over here, we've got a beautiful and serene building. It's actually a boathouse that was built way back in 1946. These days, it's not an active boathouse anymore. It's actually a restaurant called Smith's Boathouse Restaurant, and we're going to explore all their tasty food.
It was a real boathouse, so it lends itself to have the theme of seafood. Good quality steaks, but primarily seafood.
We have a walleye that's one of our features, which is dressed with pico de gallo. It's over top Spanish rice with a roasted jalapeno crema.
If it's a nice night, everyone wants to be on the patio. We can seat about 85 people out there, and there are nights where the whole patio is entirely full.
Well, a beautiful evening for football here at Preble, Shawnee. They're about to take on Tri-County North. Everybody's getting pumped up out here, and we really have a nice forecast. Now, next Thursday is really our next chance for rain. We could see some showers on Saturday, and that's going to be from the remnants of Ian. A little breezy over this weekend. We'll see temperatures in the upper 60s, lower 70s, and then lower 70s for next week. So really pleasant forecast. Temperatures are going to be close to normal for this time of the year, and then it's not until we head into next Thursday. It does look like we'll have another system push its way in, which will bring us a chance for shower. Now, I do have Matt Digby with me, and we're going to talk a little bit about the game. So what are your predictions for this evening? You think it's going to be a good one?
I hope it's going to be a good game. The grass field looks beautiful, like you were mentioning with the dry weather. I know next week, for instance, we'll be at a turf field at Miamisburg, so that will come into play with the fact that the weather won't necessarily ruin the field. But the grass field looks great. The teams are fired up, ready to go, and I think it's going to be a great matchup tonight on MyTV Dayton.
I'm ready. It has been perfect weather these past Thursday night lights. We're going to be right back on Fox 45 in just a bit.